Welcome, friends and colleagues, to our live office hours. Today, we have a very exciting presentation. We are going to be previewing our brand new resource, Songs and Studies for Kids Level 1. I'm very, very excited to get started. I have a ton of information and teaching strategies to share with everyone. I want to first, though, just introduce myself if we have not met. My name is Nikki Loney, and I am the boss of it all. That's what Mim tells me here at Full Voice Music. And Full Voice Music is a small but fierce education company from Canada. We specialize in vocal pedagogy and resources for our young singing students. We have been sharing resources for over 20 years. Our resources are used worldwide, and we love sharing student-centered, creative, engaging, inclusive singing pedagogy. That's what we are about. Now, if you are new to our live office hours, we have them once a month, and we have covered some incredible topics, and we've had some incredible guests. They are all on our YouTube channel. So if you're looking for strategies for young singers, definitely check out our YouTube channel. I also want to let everybody know that we have two amazing guests in the Zoom room. First of all, my right-hand person, Mim Adams. Mim, please say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm the boss one who was like, hit the button, hit the button.
Mim has been by my side for over 20 years, helping me with everything Full Voice. I would be lost without her. She keeps me on task, which, by the way, is no easy feat, because I have lots of ideas and I like to go and explore all the ideas. We also have a wonderful guest. One of our composers is here, Donna Rodenizer. Woo-woo! I had to laugh because I sent out the registration and I was going through the registrations and all the questions, and there was Donna. She's like, I want to come too. So, of course, Donna's welcome here. We're going to be previewing some of her songs. We are previewing the new resource, Songs and Studies for Kids Level 1. And hooray, it is a big deal. It has been a long time coming because our stuff is very kid and teacher tested. We actually give our materials to a lot of teachers before we publish, because we want to make sure that, most importantly, the kids like it. So that's part of the reason why it might take us a bit longer to get things to you. Most importantly today, though, I want to share some student-centered, engaging, inclusive, exciting pedagogy for anybody working with young singers. And that applies to any resource that you are using. So I guarantee you're going to walk out of here with a lot of teaching strategies and hopefully a lot of inspiration. Now, as with all of our live office hours, we have prizes, and we are going to be giving away 3 copies of the digital version of this resource, the PDF download. That is a $90 value. And at the end of the presentation, which is about 40 minutes, Mim's gonna tell you how you can take advantage of this draw. We have a lot of fun. We have the spinny wheel. It's hilarious. And everybody who is here and remains here at the end when we collect your information is going to get a digital copy of our whale song study, which is delightful. I'm biased, but I love this song. It makes me smile. I want to start out, first of all, I want to thank everybody who registered, because there was a lot of really great questions. And I want to acknowledge that there are people here that might be new to this series or are looking for a new curriculum. And I just want to give you a little backstory about who this was developed for, why it was developed for them, and some of the little adventures we had on the way to actually putting out Introductory A. I'm going to keep this brief, but I think it's helpful for teachers to know the whys and the hows. So in 2019, I started my introductory vocal classes. This is something that I wanted to do for a long time. These are some of my kiddos. They called it Singing Club. It was an amazing addition to my studio offering. It is challenging to families that are new to singing and singing instruction to get them to buy into a private lesson and the commitment and the cost of private lessons. And I wanted to have an opportunity to let young singers discover singing and have fun. I wanted it to be a safe space. I wanted it to be inclusive, and I wanted it to allow students to have success and really get to know and love their voices. Now, the challenges when you're working with children, and the challenges that I faced off of right from the beginning, is how different each student is in their developmental, in their abilities, not only in singing, but in reading and in writing. And some of the a lot of the go-to music that's recommended for children was not successful. So things like Disney music, things like musical theater shows that were written for children, these are not accessible to beginners. Disney songs are hard. They were not written for children to sing. They were written for professionals to sing for children's movies. They have very challenging melodies. They have very complex chord progressions. They have a lot of words, a lot of verses. And getting little ones, beginners, through this is hard, and it's very discouraging. The same thing with a lot of the musical theater. When Matilda came out, I cried. I'm like, how am I supposed to get a kid to learn quiet? It's a lot. So we had been working with Donna Rodenizer on materials and songs that would be appropriate for the beginner student, and I was testing them with my students in my small group class. These songs were highly successful. The kids loved the songs, and we had a lot of creative fun. This was such a huge offering for my studio, and the parents appreciated the opportunity for their kids to learn singing. The kids loved working together in a group, and we started to put together a resource for this age group for the beginner singers. Now, in 2020, right after the March break, my studio, including my small group class, went online. And the beautiful thing is that all of Donna's music, all of the solfege studies translated beautifully and were really helpful as everybody started to get used to teaching online. My students had their sheets, we had backing tracks, and we were really quite relieved that all of this material was working really well. I had a phone call with Donna and I said, I know that this project isn't quite ready, but I think there's something here that can help teachers during the pandemic. And that's when we released the vocal studies for kids. Now, I know some people here might have used that during the pandemic. And you'll notice that we continued to research and develop the songs. Some of the songs and studies in this never quite made it to the book. But we had all teachers from around the world that were using this, giving us feedback. We were watching the videos of kids using this material because everybody had their online recitals. Weren't those fun? And we continue to do the research. In 2022, we put together Introductory A, which included many of the beginner pieces from that study book, that download, but we expanded to include more songs and more studies, and we took all of the research, all of the success stories. We did not put in the things that the kids didn't like. We came out with this. And we wanted it to be an accessible resource. Introductory A specifically is for students that are developing pitch accuracy. Now I'm going to get on my soapbox for a second. The kids that struggle with pitch, I hate using that, but the kids that are learning to and developing pitch are often turned away from instruction as not being ready, or just not having teachers not having the information or the resources to be able to support them. This book, the songs are short and sweet. The ranges are very mindful for young voices. And because Donna has, I don't know, Donna, what is it, like 1 million years experience teaching in elementary school music programs? Is it 1 million, or was it 30 something? 35 years teaching in elementary school music programs. Her songs are so age appropriate for this age group. And if you're looking at this book, most of the songs are a repeated A section. Very simple. The lyrics are simple and repetitive, which assists in young children learning the lyrics and memorizing the lyrics. Now, introductory B continues in that beginner vein, but we start to introduce songs that have a little more advanced forms. So we have ABA forms, a little bit longer, still easy to learn and easy to sing, but slightly longer solos. Now, level 1 moves into singers 8 to 10. We're getting into more ABA forms, more repeats, longer solos, but we're still mindful of ranges and some of the vocal challenges that we have with children's voices at this age. Now, I do want to quickly state, ages are guidelines and not rules. So please, when you are working with your students, know I've had 8-year-olds that struggle with reading, like reading English, and I've had 6-year-olds that are advanced readers. So I've had 6-year-olds with incredible pitch and big ears, and I've had older students that need a slower pace as they are developing pitch accuracy. So the ages are guidelines, not rules. So you might have a young singer that might be perfect for level 1, and you might put a student that's 8 or 9 into an introductory level if they need a slower pace. So just something to keep in mind when you are working with your singers. Now, I want to overview some of the studies. Mostly I want to introduce some fun strategies that you can use with a lot of different resources. And I want to talk about student-centered engagement. And I want to talk about some lesson pacing strategies as well. So in the books, there are many different activities. Now, this is So Me Monsters. This was from Introductory A. So we want teachers to know right off the top that these pages are not one and done type of exercises. It's not about getting through the page, doing all the things, checking the boxes, and then moving on. Effective lesson pacing allows you to circle back and give students opportunities to explore these studies, these exercises in a multitude of ways. There's something that we tend to do in our studios, which is unfortunate, is as soon as our students show a little bit of confidence and ability, we immediately move them into something harder. This constantly keeps our students in a state of vulnerability because learning something new makes us feel vulnerable. So when we give students the opportunity to show us things that they can do really well, we are building their confidence, we are creating safer spaces, we're getting them excited about showing us what they can do. So in a solfege study, and we do, in Introductory A, we do a lot of the solfege hand signs. Hand signs are so wonderful for students developing pitch accuracy. Solfege hand signs allow us to sing unaccompanied, which is essential for those of you that like to play notes on the piano. It's important to know that the piano is a very complex sound. There is an overtone series when you play the piano. that can be very confusing to brains that are trying to find the fundamental frequency. This is why you have some students that constantly sing a fourth or a fifth above and below, like consistently. So voice-to-voice exercises really help our singers to hear their voice, hear your voice, and find those pitches. The other thing about solfege hand signs is it's a movement exercise, and it gets them into their bodies. When we are moving, we are learning. Movement is my go-to for any student that seems to be struggling. The solfege studies are also little mini song stories. They have solfege and they have lyrics, and there's pictures that tie them to the lyrics. Pictures are visual tools that help us with nonverbal working memory. It's for engagement. It's to get them to think about the lyrics, follow the words, make those connections. So with these solfege studies that are in A, B, and a little bit in level 1, please be sure to have fun with them, explore them. Ask your students, which study do you want to start with today? What do you feel? What do you feel your voice would like to sing today? And let them choose and start the day or the lesson with something that they enjoy. These are fabulous warm-ups. Fabulous, fabulous warm-ups. And just a friendly reminder to all my teaching friends, a warm-up is anything that gets them into your studio ready to learn. It's not always a singing exercise that might be the starting point for some singers. They need time to regulate. They need time to settle. They need to get into their bodies. So again, make sure you're offering a variety of warm-ups and activities to help them get into the space and ready to learn. Now, in Introductory B, we got a little creative with some fun forest adventures. This was not only a sight reading exercise, but it's an audiation exercise. So what we did is we created 1-bar melodies for each animal. And then the activity was to rearrange the bars to create their own song. This is an introduction to songwriting, manipulating music and changing it and being creative with it. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but you have young singers in your studio who are dying to start composing and songwriting. This was such a hit with all of our test groups and the teachers that were testing this. They needed more, so we actually created the Forest Adventure Songs singing and composing cards, which were from the feedback that we got from the kids about that activity. Now, moving into level 1, we do have some solfege studies. This is Fish Recess. And the focus is phrasing and breathing, so singing longer phrases, singing legato. I would use this as a semi-occluded vocal tract exercise, and I would introduce phonating in with blowing into your straw, like straw phonation into bubbles. That would tie in beautifully with this type of exercise. This exercise is also kind of focuses around the lower part of the scale. So we're going down to the low T. Semitones are tricky. Semitones are hard to hear, and so this solfege exercise, do, re, do, ti, is really helpful before they sight read or they start to learn the melody. Now, we also encourage people to explore singing this in 2-bar phrases, 4-bar phrases, and if you want to really make them laugh and giggle, see if they can do it with an 8-bar phrase. And again, you're exploring breath, you're exploring phrasing, and they love to be challenged. Now, I want to also show you that simple little exercises can be leveled up to be even more challenging. And I want to introduce you to the Etobicoke Jazz Band Singers. Now I want to shout out to Mim. These are the coach, Megan, yes, is her name. Megan is the vocal coach for the Etobicoke Jazz Band Singers. Mim had given Megan a package with all of these studies for her to try with her younger singers, but the Etobicoke Jazz Band Singers actually had a lot of fun with them. So Fish Recess, if you want to level it up, can also be a round and a canon. So check this out.
Fish swim and sway, fish start and play, where the seaweed grows. In the ocean, fish in motion, back to school they go. Fish swim and sway, fish start and play, where the seaweed grows. In the ocean, fish in motion, back to school they go.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? So if you are working with teenagers, if you need to introduce some harmony singing skills using, I see lots of hearts, thank you. You can use these studies with older students, and they're a lot of fun. So just a fun little thing. And I have to tell you, when the Etobicoke Jazz Band Singers sent us that video, I was absolutely delighted. Mim and I were like screaming and laughing, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And I was like, yeah, I knew it was a canon, haha. Anyhow, the other fun little study in here is Happy Hippo Hula Hoop. So first of all, Happy Hippo Hula Hoop is a fabulous tongue twister. You're welcome. This is an arpeggio study, and it's tricky. So we have the solfege there. So if you want to go slowly to help them find the pitches. One of the things I love about this study, it's a wonderful one to help students not point with their chin when they're singing jumpy little melodies. Great exploration. It's got a little challenge. So, and again, I apologize, I've got a bit of a cold, but it's like Happy Hippo Hula Hoop. So there's a little fun little melody there. Getting them to do it with the hand signs is helpful. Doing it really slowly, also helpful. Now you can take this melody and go up and down the piano and try it in different keys. That could be one way that you explore it. But we wanted to incorporate a beat and rhythm exploration. So getting your students to tap the beat, tap the rhythm, tap on the first beat of the bar while they're singing this. And friends, don't let friends tap on 1 and 3. So you're going to make your students tap on 2 and 4. And this is like how you scaffold the exercise. You introduce it, they become comfortable with it. You introduce some rhythm and beat exploration. Now, we wanted to take it one step further and body percussion. So exploring clapping, stomping, patting, snapping. Snapping is tricky. You're going to have to spend some time teaching students how to snap. If snapping is not in their wheelhouse, then you move on to clapping and patting, whatever they want to do. This gets your students into their body. Rhythm, beat, feeling the beat, exploration is something I feel we don't do enough with our singers. And it is so good. Now, if your students are anything like me, putting body percussion together with singing is hard. And I want everybody to know, when I did my level 1 Kodai training, you had to sing these canons while doing these rhythm body percussion things. I almost died. It was awful. I called my husband in tears going, I can't do anything. Anyhow, you need to go slow. You need to go slow. Allow them to succeed. Keep the patterns simple. You're going to have students that are going to love this exercise because they are desperate to get into their bodies. They are desperate to move, and it's going to really bring in their focus. You're also going to have students that might be a little timid in clapping, and that's okay. You can encourage exploring different volumes of doing that. But this is a wonderful way. And if you're in a group, you can play around. Again, the Etobicoke Jazz Singers sent us this video. because they did such a great job with Fish Recess. We're like, can you do all of them? Anyhow, this is how they decided to have fun with Happy Hippo Hula Hoop.
Whoever messes up is getting pushed in the pool. Okay, that's fine. 1, 2, ready, go.
Happy hippo hula hoop, swinging, swaying. Happy hippo hula hoop, all day singing songs. Happy hippo hula hoop, singing, swaying. Happy hippo hula hoop, all day singing songs. Happy hippo hula hoop, swinging, swaying. Happy hippo hula hoop, all day singing songs. Happy hippo hula hoop, swinging, swaying. Happy hippo hula hoop, all day singing songs.
Isn't that fun? So I want to just from my own personal experience with voice lessons as a child and moving into like contemporary and musical theater, my vocal lessons were always me standing beside the piano, standing still, singing exercises. And when I got into situations where I needed to move with the band or move on stage, it felt so uncomfortable. These types of opportunities and introduction to clapping and moving and feeling are so helpful. Our students are going to need to move on stage at some point. Let's give them that space in our studios. So that one is a lot of fun. And again, start simple. Keep it simple. Keep the tempo slow. Give your students space to succeed before making it more challenging for them. Now, everybody that is in the Zoom room right now and stays to the end is going to get a copy of the whale song. This is a very simple vocalese, and it's in a minor melody. The focus of this that we wanted to explore was an introduction to a vocalese, so singing on vowels. That's a little foreign to a lot of singers, and singing expressively using just a vowel sound. So we start by having a song and a story that students can relate to, and we explore that. This is a delightful warm-up song. Now, the music itself and the backing track, it's just repeated once, but again, our friends at the Etobicoke Jazz Band, they did their own little arrangement. And I want to encourage teachers, if your students want to try changing the arrangement of something, by all means, let them have that freedom, let them have that fun. So the singers from the jazz band have done this arrangement. And so here's your introduction to whale song with the vocal study, the vocalese part put at the end.
Love to sing beneath the sea. Whales know no songs in a deep and minor key. Whales love to sing, stories float across the blue. Ooh, singing songs for you.
Isn't that fun? Now, I want to let everybody know that when you're exploring vocalises, you can use vowels through like one vowel, ask them to choose their favorite vowel, ask them to decide which vowel for them is most expressive, challenge them with different vowel patterns. I'm just opening the chat because I can't see it. Sorry, I'm just opening the chat here. Beautiful. I like using a kazoo. Sure, why not? That would be wonderful. Any type of vocal exploration where you give them choices, where you ask them their opinion, where you are, what did you think of that? Which vowel was easier? Why do you think it was easier? Those are really helpful conversations for our students to help them to learn and understand how the vocal instrument works without the lecture about vowel modification and formants. There, I said what I said. Yes, Larissa says, love it with the ooh vowel. So this is a gift to all of you. You will get a copy of this, a digital copy. You can use it today, and it does come with the piano accompaniment. If you would use that, that's great for home practice as well. All right. I do want to encourage people, if you have comments, please put them in the chat, or if you want to ask a question, you can put that in the chat. Mim is here, so if I missed anything, I do have to shout out Brandy. Ever since I heard you say friends don't let friends clap on 1 and 3 in a podcast, I've used that ever since. Yes. Oh my goodness. We have a mission. Okay. Now let's dive in. Let's dive into our songs. I want to take a look at repertoire. So in this songbook, we have 8 songs, a variety of kid-friendly themes, and we do try to keep the themes what I would call gender neutral. So we have themes of nature, animals, weather, also things like Linda's Uniquely Unique, which is about celebrating who you are. Lots of great variety in songs. And I want to just go over some of the highlights and some of the things that I love and some of the things that we noticed in our test groups that the kids really loved. So, but before, I do want to let everybody know that all our songs and studies resources have a backing track package. Now, this is sold separately, and it's sold separately for a couple of reasons. One, not everybody wants the backing track. Some people just would like to play the piano. Awesome. The other reason that we sell this separately is because there is licensing included in the price of this package. You have permission to share the tracks with your students. You have permission to use these tracks in recitals and in performances. And yes, you can even share performances of this music on social media. Please acknowledge the composer and tag us so we can celebrate your students. That is all we ask if you're going to share on social media. So every song in our songbook has lyric pages. And lyric pages are so important, and there's a lot of work that we can do here, important work that is engagement 101. So just because you have a young person that can read accurately and sound out the words and read the words aloud does not mean that they understand. Reading and reading comprehension are two very different things. And I want to let everybody know that I guarantee you have middle school and high school and even adults who probably are struggling with reading comprehension and understanding lyrics in full context. What we encourage teachers to do is find that personal connection, which is why on a lot of our pages you'll find fun facts about the whales or about slugs. And it's not a lecture, it's a conversation with your students. Do they have an experience? Have they ever stepped on a slug? That is gross. I have stepped on slugs. I had to pick a slug out of my dog's paw. That was gross. Those are the things, I know, everybody's like, that's disgusting, but you're going to remember it, and now you're engaged, right? See what I did there? Amazing. Anyhow, you share your stories. Like I always tell my students about the dog and the slug, and they always make a face, but then they're quite interested in sharing their stories. Now, maybe it's not about a slug, but there's some sort of personal connection. When we have pictures in our mind of the things that we are talking about, then we have connection. Memorization cannot happen without those pictures in the mind, and our young students are developing this skill. It's called non-verbal working memory. It's like the little movies that go in our brains. Without that, we're not going to see engagement. And without that, memorizing this big, long list of words becomes next to impossible. So these little conversations take up a few minutes, maybe more than a few minutes, but it's worth it, because when they have something to connect to, you have engaged students that are interested in learning and singing the songs. The other thing that I like to do with lyric pages is diction study, so speaking the words and focusing on diction, and expressive exploration. So circle the word or underline the word that you are going to make it sound different from the other words, or you're going to be really expressive. That's a wonderful exercise. Now, the other thing that they have is musical exploration. Score discovery, interval study, expressive exploration. Where are you going to sing expressively? Some of the songs have movement elements to it. The body percussion and feeling the beat theme comes back in quite a few of the songs in here. And in some cases, we're giving them the opportunity to write their own lyrics or compose. There's so many wonderful opportunities in every song. Now, in the books, we also have lead sheets. For some singers, following a lead sheet is much easier than following the piano score. We forget that the piano score is a big jumble of information that they might not be ready for. We also include lead sheets for anybody that wants to do guitar or ukulele parts, so the chords are there for you. And of course, we have full score. So of course, teachers, your piano score is in there. And depending on my students, sometimes I use the full score with them if I feel that they can follow it really well. It depends on my student. Now, I want to thank people for those of you that sent in questions, and I want to address some of the questions. So first of all, can I use these songs in any order, or should I use this book progressively from start to finish? Here at Full Voice, we are all about student-centered teaching, student-centered learning, and my go-to would always be choose the song that is going to pique their interest and delight them. So once you get to know your student, maybe you offer a couple of ideas and find where they're really interested. And I personally, there's probably some songs that I might not use with some students if it's not a song that they're going to connect to. But I think that with most songbooks, it's kind of a pick and choose and really cater to what the student is interested in, especially if you're starting with a student that is new and nervous and maybe, needs a little bit of special kid glove handling. Pick a song that they love. Do you typically use these songs as rep or alongside of it? These songs can be used in a multitude of ways. They can be recital pieces. I know Linda Fletcher uses some of these songs in music festivals, in competitions, and they've been very successful. It really depends on your studio, what kind of performance opportunities. Short songs are we call them first song adventures. Short songs that are easy to learn and the kids really love it are wonderful recital pieces. Yes, they're short. Children don't need 4-minute musical theater songs to get started in their first performances. So yes, you can use it however you wish in a multitude of ways. Would this level be preliminary A or B to RCM grade 1? If you're doing Royal Conservatory of Music, you'll notice they have just released their new syllabus, and many of the songs from our library are actually in the syllabus. Linda Fletcher's Dinosaurs, which is in level 1, is actually a level 1 Royal Conservatory test piece. So they are definitely in that age group or at that level. If you are doing conservatory exams, as just a friendly reminder, the syllabus is your Bible. Make sure you read the syllabus and go step by step through the syllabus for all the rules and how they want everything done. Are all of the songs new, or are they repeats of songs you've already been selling? There are 3 songs in this book that have been part of our library for a few years, and then there's 5 new songs. So, and the reason that we put them in this book is because we love them. They're perfect for this age group. And we want more people to sing these songs because they're just so much fun and you have so much success with your students. So I want to start and preview some of the songs and share some of the teaching strategies. Dark and Dingy is written by Glyn Lehman. He is from Australia. We love Glyn. He sends us new music and they often make us cry. Dark and Dingy, although the song is only a minute long, it is a short and sweet piece. It is 100% relatable. It is the story of a stormy night from the perspective of a dog that is frightened. That is something that most children and humans can relate to. It has a lot of dynamic singing. The first half is the storm and how frightened, and the second half is when the dog is being comforted and invited up on the bed and everything's going to be okay. This is a beautiful piece, and it's perfect. It falls under the Halloween because of the dark and stormy night. So it's a great one if you want to start somebody for the month of October, getting into the Halloween month. This is one of my go-to songs. It's never failed me. And I have singers that are like 12 years old that continue to want to come back to this because they love singing it. I'm going to preview it by playing the lyric video that we have if you're new to it. So this will give you the 1-minute song preview.
It's dark and dingy and windy outside. Something is banging and I want to hide. Thunder is rumbling, the lightning strikes. It's so frightening, my eyes grow wide. Then you pat me on the head and you let me on your bed. You say it will be okay, soon it will go away. I'm so glad you're by my side when it's dark and dingy outside.
The piano part, I'm not an expert piano player, but that one is fun with the octaves, and you can be really dramatic in performing that piano part with them. Now, I wanted to share with you, Glyn is also an orchestrator. He does incredible arrangements with orchestras in Australia. Many of his works have been previewed by the Adelaide Symphony. And he did an orchestration for this tune, which is part of the tracks. So one of the things that I do with the band track it's an active listening exercise, and I ask students to listen to the orchestration track, and I ask them to identify all the different instruments. And then we have questions like, why do you think the composer chose to have strings there? Why do you think the composer used that sound? And how do all these sounds change the way you want to sing it? So a wonderful, I'm just going to play the orchestration because it's so lovely. If it'll come back up. Uh-oh. Hang on. Maybe it won't come back up. Wait for it. No. Wait, let me see if I can find it. I think I canceled it out. I'll come back to it. All right. So, the other one that's on here that we love is the musical theater energy cabaret style introduction to musical theater songs. And one of them that is brilliant is Slugs. This is, again, short and sweet, but there is actually some vocal challenges in this because there's a major sixth and a perfect octave jump, which is challenging for little ones that are working on registration and moving higher into their voices. It's also very dynamic and expressive storytelling. I told you about the story about the dog and the slug and all that stuff. Here is a little preview of Slugs.
Slugs. What's good about slugs? These slimy old grubs go so slow, and they squish between my toes. I declare, my feet cannot bear to be bare if they're anywhere near slugs. Slugs are ugly bugs. Perhaps they are boneless, homeless, snails out for a little stroll. I declare, my feet cannot bear to be bare if they're anywhere near slugs.
There you go. Again, a cute little song, lots of expressiveness, challenges for the voice, for sure. There's some big jumps and some wonderful opportunities to explore singing larger ranges. And of course, hilarious and fun. And you'll never look at Slugs the same way. One of our composers, Ben Bowen. Ben Bowen is an early childhood music educator, and he takes influences from all over the world, like pop and folk and jazz and samba, and he puts it together in these beautiful pieces. We love Ben's music, and I want to tell everybody that if I was ever thinking of working with my jazz ensemble, I would put some Ben Bowen songs in them because they're beautiful and so much fun. And I would sing the samba, summer samba, and I would do Pretty Butterfly. Pretty Butterfly, it's not a true samba. I would say it's samba influenced. There's a bass in there. There's percussion on the band track. This is a study in syncopation. Now, I want to share some teaching strategies. Syncopation can be explored in many different ways, but the biggest way to get there is through movement, letting them feel the beat, move to the beat. I would abandon the clapping the numbers, and I would work on like long, short, or long, short, long type of patterns. Pretty butterfly. I would also let teachers know that because it's more of a contemporary type of song, you do not have to hold each note for the exact thing if you're not doing this for an exam. So again, you want to encourage creative play and interpretation. And this song is also great for exploring registration. And it sets it up really, really well. Because we have the first bar, which is a lower sound, and I'm not singing in the original key because I'm dealing with a cold, but pretty butterfly, and then way up in the sky. So now I can do some head voice sounds. And because it's contemporary, we can explore breathy head voice sounds. different types of head voice sounds. So lots of exploration with this tune. The other nice thing about this is cross curriculum. A lot of kids are learning about butterflies and cocoons and all of that. So it's really interesting for them to sing about it as well. Here is a little introduction and with the band track, so you can hear the band track. You got the bass. So that still, I would encourage you to let your students move. Maybe they do the shaker part with their hands. Body percussion can come back into this. I'm just gonna stop it. Body percussion can come back into this, but there's some beautiful moments in here and a lot of fun with that groove. So that bass, now I have to shout out Mim. Mim has a superpower, which is taking Ben's music, which is very guitar. Yes, are all these songs in the book? Yes, they are. Mim has this superpower of taking Ben's guitar and grooves and feels and putting it into a piano score. And I think she's done a really good job. So for those of you playing these songs on the piano, I think you're going to have a lot of fun. And shout out to Min for her mad skills. Just exploring with a paper butterfly while listening would be fun. Oh my goodness. Yes, absolutely. I love that. Any type of exploration is so much fun. And it just brings engagement right into your studio. They will not want to leave your studio. I want to talk about Sola Llama Fun. So scarves are super, Donna. Yes, scarves for sure. I had a balloon for a while, and the kids, we practiced trying to tap the balloon to the beat, which is harder than you think. I got that from the Del Crows part of my Kodai training. But yeah, anything that gets them into their body, and a balloon, a scarf, paper butterflies. I love that. Oh, you're so good. Ribbons. Yes. Ribbons, butterfly songs, ribbons. Ooh, I love ribbons. Sola Llama Fun is an improvisation study. Now, fun fact, the entire team, me, Mim, and Sean from Full Voice Music, we all are jazz majors. So improvisation is in our bones. And one of the things I wish that I had been exposed to at a younger age was playing with music, because my first 2 years of jazz school were absolutely terrifying, because it was like, what do you mean I have to make up a solo? What do you mean I'm not reading this off the page? What? Yeah, that was my first scary 2 years it took me a long time to make peace with it. And children given these types of creative opportunities usually embrace them with a lot of enthusiasm and curiosity. And I wish I had been given those experiences. I would have not been as stressed out in my first 2 years of jazz school. I also think that this helps them with audiation skills and listening to the music. So Sola Llama Fun is a simple melody, but there's 4 bars that are left open where students can sing a melody based on so and la to start with. They can add other notes later on, but you start by just letting them use the 2 notes. They can hold it as a whole note. They can do 2 half notes. There's no rules other than so and la. And then when they get comfortable with that, you can change rhythms. You can put rests in there. You can put body percussion in there. Lots of ways to explore this. So I'm going to give you a little preview of the Sola Llama Fun.
Llama, llama, let's have fun.
So with that little explore, again, some of your students are going to be really excited to try things. Other students are going to need more support and maybe more guidance through that. So that is one of our, well, that's a really fun song. And I want to thank Donna for being so creative with those types of ideas. Now, I know I've gone a bit late and I want to get to the prizes, and thank you for your patience. Uniquely Unique is about exploring higher singing sounds. So we want to cross-train both high and low notes. Uniquely Unique is just a beautiful little melody. And I think the lyrics are really, really lovely. But I'm gonna push through here because I want to wrap things up for everybody, because I want to be respectful of your time. The other question that came up, okay? Many people were asking, what am I supposed to do with the K-pop demon hunters? Yeah, I know. Now, first of all, I want everybody to know that a little while ago, I watched K-pop demon hunters, and I started off like this, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? But then at the end, I'm like, you know what? I could totally rock that ponytail, that big braid at the end. I could totally, and the clothes they wear, and when they eat the ramen noodles, I love these girls. So I want to address a question that comes up a lot in our training. And yes, Melissa's like, I still need to see it. It's totally worth it. It's a good message. These are strong women that are saving the world with their singing, friends. Oh my goodness. Right? So the song Golden is a vocal nightmare. I don't even know how I would approach it. Like if I had to sing it, there are a lot of vocal challenges in this. But just like the songs from Wicked, just like the songs from Frozen, children and people are always going to be inspired by music that is popular. And of course, this is what is inspiring students to get into our studios and learn to sing. We can embrace this in many different ways. And Stephanie just said, I do many rhythm activities with the songs. Yes, absolutely. Diction. Golden and singing the pattern of the words is an amazing diction study. All right. So for those of you feeling a little frustrated, I want everybody to know that you can incorporate lots of the vocal studies that I've talked about today and explore different things using contemporary music. I actually wanted to come to this meeting with like a K-pop demon hunter costume, and I couldn't find one. I totally would rock that purple hair. I don't know what it is about like hair and animation, but it really gets the hearts of people everywhere. Anyhow, I hope that was helpful. Don't fear the K-pop demon hunters. Use the music in ways that the students can explore. One last question. Will there be a level 2 and 3? Yes, there will. Don't ask me when. It'll be a while. It's like asking somebody when they're going to have another baby. I don't know. Inappropriate. No, I'm just kidding. We do have a map of level 2 and level 3. We are working on it, but it's going to be a while because we're going to test it. And we're going to have fun with it and make sure that it's a great resource. Now, for everybody, I want to thank everybody. First of all, before I say goodbye, does anybody have any questions about the books, about any of the strategies? Does anybody, you can put it in the chat if you would like, or you can ask. I'm just bringing up the chat here. Thank you for another great session. Sydney, you're more than welcome. Thank you for coming. If there's no questions, I want to thank, first of all, do you have to have a code for the sale? No, they're discounted right now. Actually, Min, can you put that in the chat? No, the discounts are already applied. No discount code required. You can take advantage of those. Remember, it is a flash sale and it is on until October 1st. So you have a couple of days to take advantage of it. If you're watching the replay, or to our Australian and New Zealand friends, this is also on the Australian website. au.fullvoicemusic.com is where you want to go, and it is discounted there as well. want to wish everybody an incredible season of singing. I know that the world is a heavy place right now, and I want everybody to know and be reassured that holding space for people and helping them discover their voices, I think, is one of the most important things we can be doing right now. And I know that it is not easy to hold space for people. So I want to just let you know that the work that you are doing is so very important. And we are always here to support our teachers. So if you need anything, send us an email. You can email me at Nikki, or actually you can just reach us at hello@Full Voice Music. Let us know what we can do for you. And with that, I want to thank, first of all, a special thank you to Donna for all of her incredible work and her beautiful music that has brought so much joy to my singers and to all our composers. And I want to thank all of you for coming here today. Enjoy the whale song. You're going to look for an email shortly with a zip file in it. You must extract it to get the score and the music track. And I hope that you have a great, fun time with it. Please let us know. So, as always, friends, thank you, and we will see you next month. I don't know what the topic will be, but we'll have another live office hours, so we'll see you soon. Thanks, everybody.